What do you do when the things that used to bring you joy just don't anymore? Let's talk about it. Welcome back. I'm your Sassy Southern Grandma, Cindy. Glad to have you back with me this week. And I have a kind of epiphany this week, so I wanted to share it with you, see if anybody else is going through the same things. I had some free time on my hands, and I wanted to get out of the house and do something. And so I went to a big chain bookstore that is something that I used to love to do. I used to just go in there just to be among the books, because I've always been a big reader ever since I was a child. And it just wasn't the same. I used to love to just go look at all the different sections and the different books and look at the new things that have come out, get some ideas for things I might want to read to put on my list. And even if I wasn't going to buy anything, sometimes I would just buy a bookmark just because I'd been in there and thought I'd buy a bookmark. But this time I went the other day and it wasn't the same. It was kind of like being in a Target with books. It felt so commercialized. It felt so buy something in your face. And as I've thought about it, maybe it's not the bookstore that's changed, maybe it's me. I know that one thing that's changed is they used to have little seating areas in the larger bookstores where you could get some books and look at them and decide if you wanted to read them. Or there would always be a bench right in front of the magazine rack, and you'd be able to go and look at the magazines and decide if you want to get one or not. And that's gone. There's not even a bench in front of the magazine rack anymore. The only place to sit in this one was inside the coffee shop, which of course you don't want to go sit in the coffee shop if you're not buying something there. That, to me, I guess is a Southern thing. I feel rude going somewhere and sitting there and taking up a table if I'm not buying something. And the whole vibe was off. It just wasn't the same as it used to be. I hadn't been in a big store in a long time, big bookstore, done a lot of small bookstore shopping, used bookstore shopping, things like that. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same joy and nourishment and pleasure that I used to feel when I did that. So I've been thinking a lot about it, and maybe it wasn't the bookstore that changed that much. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just recognize capitalism in your face all the time, more so than I used to, because I live a pretty simple life and don't do a lot of shopping. I can't even tell you the last time I've been into a mall or even into a big department store. It's just not something that's been something I do anymore, because we have a very minimalistic life. One other thing I used to love to do is go to thrift stores and find little treasures, or find things that, oh, I could use that, or I used to have one of those, I need another one, or just, the little things you find in thrift stores that's sort of like looking for treasure. I went into a thrift store after I left the bookstore thinking, well, I'll just go in here and see what there is. I had seen good reviews about it online, and it was good. It was a good thrift store, as thrift stores go. It's very clean, very organized. I just didn't see anything that struck my fancy. It just wasn't the same anymore. And I can't quite put my finger on what it is, other than because I'm a travel nurse and we travel in an RV, we don't have a lot of room. So if I get anything, even from a commercial store, a first-hand store, not a second-hand store, it has to have a place. It has to have a use. There has to be a reason for it, so that something that I'm going to use, something that I really, really love to look at. We don't have a lot of wall space for decor. We don't have a lot of cabinet space to store things. So I really didn't see anything that I wanted that would fit or that even spoke to me. I thought, well, maybe there's just something here, a little something I can put on my dresser or something, but didn't see anything. And it just wasn't the same as it used to be. And I've kind of come to the conclusion it's me that's changed and not so much the stores, because I just don't enjoy the same things that I used to. And I guess it's just part of different phases of your life. You like different things. And so I've been thinking about what kind of things do I like to do in my free time. I work 3 days a week, 3 12-hour shifts. So, the first day I'm off, I'm kind of like a slug. I want to rest and relax. But I like to do I want to fill my time with other things that I enjoy, things that bring me pleasure, things that are creative, things that are nourishing to me as a person. One thing that I have started enjoying more than I used to, my husband kind of got me into hiking, being outdoors more. I am not a fan of heat, so it's been more temperate here in Colorado, so it's been easier to get out in the mornings especially and enjoy the outdoors. And we've planned some trips to go to different places that are in the area, and I look forward to those. And the few that we've been on so far have been fun and really, really enjoyable. I told you about the park that we went to that really made a difference in my attitude in a previous video. So that's something that I want to explore more of, not necessarily hiking up a mountain to conquer the mountain, but just to go out and enjoy nature and enjoy the trees and if we see some wildlife, or if there's some, just some interesting areas, just a bench to sit on and enjoy the breeze. Just something that's simple and easy and fills you up instead of drains you out like a job can do. So those are some of the things I've been thinking about. I also have been kind of looking online for some out-of-the-way coffee shops, kind of secluded, something that's not so hustle culture, something not like a Starbucks where people are in and out and it's very hectic and all the tables are full and people are working on laptops and all that, where I can kind of just take a book and my journal and go and sit and read or write or whatever suits my fancy and have a cup of coffee and just have a little bit of me time, a little bit of solitude. And been looking for some little places like that I can go to, and trying to kind of expand my horizons some into some different areas that I haven't tried before. So I can't be the only person that's had this issue come up at different times in your life, that things that used to bring you joy, things that you used to love spending hours doing, that just don't mean that much to you anymore. Maybe just things have shifted in your life, things have shifted in your heart or your mind, and those things just aren't what they used to be to you. How have you solved that problem? How have you found out what it is that you like now that you're in a different season, or now that the things you used to love aren't so great anymore? As I explore, I'll share with you things that I find that I like, and I'd love for you to interact in the comments and give me some ideas of some things that you like to do that are enjoyable, relaxing, and fit into your lifestyle as an older adult. Thanks for joining our video today, and please come back next week.
I'll come back now. Yeah.